So let's answer the question now. What happens when the root of the chord is no longer on bottom? So this is what's called a chord inversion. We've got C, E, G, where C is now on top, and then E is on bottom, and now G is on bottom. And using chord inversions can not only make it easier, so we don't have to move our hands around the piano quite so much, but it can also give us a better variety of sounds. And make it more musical and more pleasing. It's not just all block chords, which seems disjointed. So, when we put these together, our C chord, as we saw before, is C, E, G, and our F chord is F, A, C. Because both chords contain a C, we can play the same note each time. So C, E, G, F, A, C. Instead of playing this higher C, I can play this lower C. So C, E, G, F, A, C. And how I get to that is my middle finger goes from E to F, and my pinky goes from G to A. C, E, G, thumb stays still, the other fingers move up. C, F, A. Here that is again, C, E, G. And now C, F, A. Do that again, C, E, G, C, F, A. Again, C, E, G, C, F, A. Once more. Now let's look at that with our left hand. We've got C, E, G. This time, of course, since it's your left hand, your pinky is going to be on C. Your middle finger will still be on E like it was with your right, and your thumb is going to be on G. So because they're mirror images of each other in hand form, they're mirror images of each other in the pitches they play. C, E, G. Now when I go to F, it's very similar in this time. It's the same pitches, but this time because our index finger is already there on the F chord, on the F key, we're going to use our index to play the F, and our middle finger will just stop playing the E. Don't let it fly way up, just let it stop playing the E. So we go from here to here. When you're not using a finger, it's just gently resting on or right above the key. Our thumb will have to move from G to A. So C, E, G. Now my index plays the F, and my thumb plays the A. C, F, A. Here's C, E, G. C, F, A. C, E, G. C, F, A. C, E, G. C, F, A. So that's our C and F chord transitions. But our next chord, as we saw before, is the G chord. So if we're coming from the C, we don't want to have to jump way up here to G because everything has to move, and it has to move a pretty large distance. So instead, C, E, G and G, B, D, we realize they share the G. So our pinky of our right hand is going to stay on that G, C, E, G. And now our index finger, which is right above the D, is going to play D. And our thumb is going to move down from C to B. So again, here's C, E, G. Our index is right above the D, so it just plays the D, and our middle finger stops playing the E. They do a little swap between these two fingers. And our thumb goes from C down to B. C, E, G. G stays the same. D drops down right where it was, and your thumb goes from C to B. G, D, B. So you have this movement where these fingers swap places and your thumb just moves barely down. So it goes from here to here, here to here. C, E, G, and then B, D, G. With our left hand, pretty similar. Our thumb, of course, will stay on the G. And now we're going to move both of these fingers down. The reason we move both of them down instead of playing with our ring finger on that is that for most people, their ring finger is not very agile and dexterous. It doesn't really do a lot well on its own. And it tends to make the other fingers do things too. When you move your ring finger around, other fingers want to move. And we don't want that to happen. We want every finger to be completely independent. So we're going to move our middle finger down to the D and our pinky down to the B. So our pinky goes from C to B, our middle finger goes from E down to D. Pinky on B, middle finger on D, thumb on G. G stays the same. My E goes to my D, and my C goes to my B. G, B, D. So let's look at what those would look like together. C, E, G, C, F, A, C, E, G, and then B, D, G. Then back to C. So here it is again, C, E, G. Middle finger and pinky move up, C, F, A. Then they move back to C, C, E, G. Your index finger drops down where it is, and your thumb moves down one note, B, D, G, C, E, G. So all together. With your left hand, same idea, C, E, G. Now your index finger drops down right on the F, and your thumb moves from the G to the A. C, F, A. Back to C, E, G. Again, index finger down on the F, and thumb moves up one note to A. Now I go to the G. In the G chord, my thumb stays on G. And then the rest of my hand moves down. I shift down. So now I'm on B with my pinky, D with my middle finger, and then my G stays the same. B, D, G. So all together in your left hand, it's C, E, G, C, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, and then C, E, G.